Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Michelle's vlog. And we are now in meet prep. She has signed up for her next meet. We want to use this one to get qualified for nationals. And so yeah, we're doing pretty well. So things are going to get a little heavier on some of her stuff. Including the speed work, we're going to take the percentages up a bit. But we started the week off with light chains on a closed grip bench press. Now, again, we want to point out Michelle needs to bench closed grip. It has to do with shoulder surgeries, which in some of these clips you may not be able to see the scar there. And again, it's not a training related injury in any way, right? It has completely separate medical history, not related to, getting hurt in the gym. Although there is definitely some cartilage loss and stuff there. So, because we have to bench close grip, we have to really, really focus on things like bar speed, and we have to focus on triceps. And it's just, there's nothing we can do about that. It's what we have to deal with, and so we make it work. So for her supplemental work for benching on max effort bench day, we do floor press, which is going to be her, bit of assistance we do. Then accessories, we're doing a lot of middle and upper back work. So we're doing neutral grip pull-ups, and I would happily replace all her pull-ups with rowing. I would have no issues with that. But she really likes pull-ups, so we keep them in there. But we do keep a heavy focus on rows also. And notice we tend to do stuff to where there's not a lot of lower back. That does get brought up, and I'm like, well, my conjugate lifters who have access to certain equipment, I don't have them do a whole lot of rowing, from the floor, like traditional barbell rows, if we can avoid it. Right, it just has to do with load on the low back and recovery. There's other stuff that we can do. And again, we're trying to minimize axial loading to a large degree while getting as much hypertrophy volume in as we can. And this is stuff I have to argue with other coaches about frequently. Frequently they'll bring that up. Well, you can't just hypertrophy your way to bigger lifts. Yes, you absolutely can, and all the research says that you can. I don't know where people get this idea that you can't, because there's a handful of people who have amazing strength to weight ratios that somehow they want to remove all the studies and research we have, and it just gets silly, right? We know that lean body mass and DEXA scans are very predictive of a powerlifting total. So yeah, we want to get jacked. We want to get jacked. We need to maximize lean body mass. That means we need to maximize recoverable training volume. All right, so what else do we have her do besides all the pulling? We do plate raises. Again, shoulder development. And we can work in some overhead work for her as well. We can't do incline, so overhead may be in the cards coming up. All right, it may be in the cards. We'll assess it and see. And then we do tons of band press downs. I want her to hammer those band press downs for the same reason that I do them. All right, squatting on max effort lower, we did squat against light chains. I don't remember the exact amount. That closed grip bench was 135 plus the chains. We did a 1-inch block pull conventional. She got 295 on that. All right, you got 295, and we're pretty happy with that. Although we do want to be pulling at least 315 by her meet. All right, our goal is to walk in and knock down 315 at this coming meet. So after that, we do good mornings. All right, she does safety bar good mornings. And people who look at this do note, they're like, some of her volumes are even a hair higher than yours, Jason. What's up with that? Well, number one, I'm in a deficit. Number two, she's a woman. She's a woman. Women have a higher volume threshold and a higher volume tolerance than men. This is what the studies have confirmed, and we know why it is. But accordingly, yes, I can take her volumes, at least relative to strength. Right? I can take them a little bit higher than what I personally use. And that's something that a lot of the coaches and lifters out there need to be aware of. Your girls can handle more reps and sets. They can handle usually more reps and sets than your men can. They handle it better. The volume thresholds tend to be better. Neuromuscular efficiency tends to be a little lower, but the work capacity tends to be higher, and their recoverable volumes tend to be higher. Now, some of that has to do with, again, absolute strength, but we know the mechanisms behind all of this. So don't be afraid to push the volume a little higher for your ladies than you do for your guys. Don't be afraid to. If they're in good shape, conditioned well, their food's on point, their protein's high enough, they can handle it. And in her case, we do a ton of GPP. So again, that's also something worth noting. I've pulled any extra quad workout for her because we just simply don't need it right now. Her quads, when we look at her squatting, we look at her deadlifting, we look at her ratios, quads are not limiting her, and she sled drags 5 or 6 times a week. She's doing a lot of sled work. Okay? I'm not as worried about her quads. Her posterior chain, this is where we need the work. Okay? She needs hamstrings, she needs glutes, she needs erectors. Right? I'm not even as worried about upper and middle back for her these days. I mean, we do tons of it because everyone needs it. But look how good she is on pull-ups. She can crank out pull-ups. And those we're doing the neutral grip. Chin-ups, she can do like 15. But we're not doing those because we don't care so much about biceps. She's a submasters lifter now. I don't want her doing a lot of supine work. It's no point. Again, all we're doing is putting wear and tear on those tendons. Right? Wear and tear on the tendons. I usually don't like my lifters who are 35 plus doing much supine work. All right, so what else is she doing here? Glute ham raises, reverse hypers, hanging leg raises. Of course, she can do toe to bars. So watch this. All right, she's got long legs, can still do toe to bars. Abs are not a weak link here. Abs are absolutely not a weak link. What do we need for her? We need triceps. We need delts. We need posterior chain. Okay. This is what she has to have to get to the next level, in addition to just general speed, right? We do need more speed strength, which we work on with the speed work. But you guys saw the speed benching with the chains there this week. We're using chains at the moment. I'll work in some band work and stuff for her eventually too on all of that. She talked about possibly building a home gym coming up at this point. So, if we do that, we'll probably run a lot of bands. Because she'll have access to her own bands at home. She's not going to be confused about the tensions. She can learn to tune them easy with her equipment. Again, we may go to a lot more bands at that point. All right, we do obviously all of our back work here. Do all of our back work, and then lots of tricep work. Okay. Right? Back, shoulders, triceps. Doesn't mean we don't care about pecs, but we get all that pec work. We do all this pressing. Right? We do plenty of pressing. Now, if we need more pec, we add more pec work. I feel like triceps are her bigger limit at the moment. Delts behind that. So we give those a little bit more attention. Again, we've got to bring that bench up. At the end of the day, people have to remember we're not as concerned with physique. Some people are like, well, she does look good. And that's a side effect of what we do, right? That's not our primary goal here. It's not our primary goal. But a woman who is at an athletic body fat in good shape and has gained muscle, they're going to look good. That's going to happen by default. Okay? It's going to happen. So we're really focusing on chasing the performance. All right, we're chasing performance. She is a serious strength athlete, and that is our priority. So again, something that comes up occasionally in the comments too. I'm like, we're not as worried about those things. Physique improvement is just something that happens. It's not our goal. All right, so dynamic lower day. We had speed squats against chains. I don't know if the footage, I might have lost the footage there, or it got mixed up slightly in the rotation. We did this week, I believe, conventional deadlift against chains for the speed work. We do good mornings. We do glute ham raises. We do reverse hypers. Of course, she did toe to bars and stuff on here too, but we don't need the footage for that. We got plenty of footage this week, so didn't need to add a second one of those because we have demonstrated every exercise that she actually does other than her conditioning. And I don't know, maybe one of these days we'll throw in some of the sled drag footage or whatever. I'm not that worried about it, to be honest, because she does sled work. She does some kettlebell swings. Gets a lot of steps in. right? And the perk of all that, it lets her eat a lot more food. Okay, she gets to eat a lot more food because she likes her food, right? She likes to eat. And all that GPP, all that conditioning keeps our work capacity high, keeps our recovery high. And to be honest, this is something I point out to people. If you get your work capacity high like that and it lets you eat more food, it's kind of the best of both worlds because it improves our recovery, it improves our nutrient partitioning. It is actually better for gaining muscle and strength to just simply burn through more calories and to eat more calories because that additional nutrition itself is beneficial to us for training purposes, recovery purposes. Even if we are burning through the extra calories, it doesn't negate things like the insulin response. It doesn't negate the muscle protein synthesis of the protein we're eating. It doesn't negate all the antioxidants we're getting from our extra fruits and vegetables and things. So just something to think about from a recovery perspective. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.